Hi, it's Jennifer with Jennifer at Home. I'm so happy you're here to join me today as I put together a very special meal for some very special friends. Our very dear friends are moving. We met these friends at church and we enjoy seeing them every Sunday, and we love hanging out with them, going out to dinner, having them over to the house, and we are going to miss them so much. So today we're going to put together a special meal. We know that they really like barbecue, so we're going to fix them up some barbecue with some special side dishes, homemade, and some cookies for dessert. And we're going to take them over and drop them off so that they can have a nice meal the evening before they head out with the moving truck tomorrow. The first thing we're going to do is get a great big pot of heavily salted water. We're going to put this water on and let it boil, and then we'll put in the noodles. We'll need about 7.5 ounces of macaroni noodles. I'm going to be using the small elbow macaroni noodles, and then we'll need salt and pepper, some nutmeg, some heavy whipping cream, sharp cheddar cheese, 2 ounces of cream cheese, and we're going to need about 4 tablespoons of salted butter. Okay, let's put the noodles into the boiling water, and then we'll stir them around and let them continue boiling. Let the noodles boil until there's just a little bit of firmness left, because these are going to also be baking in the oven. And before we drain the water off of these noodles, we're going to save a little bit of the pasta water in case the macaroni and cheese is too dry. When we're preparing it, we can add a little bit of this pasta water, and it already has really good flavor. Okay, I've poured the noodles in the colander to drain, and while the water's draining off the noodles, let's put some things in the pan while it's still nice and hot. While the pan's nice and hot, I've gone ahead and added in 4 tablespoons of salted butter and 2 tablespoons, about 2 ounces, of cream cheese. And I've also put a big splash of heavy whipping cream. Next, I'll put in the nutmeg, a big pinch of nutmeg, and a big pinch of black pepper. You could also substitute, if you're not a fan of nutmeg, you could substitute cayenne pepper for the nutmeg, and that'll give your macaroni and cheese a little kick. And now I put the noodles back in the pan, and I'm just going to stir these in and get them coated really well. Once they're stirred in, I'm going to start adding the cheese. I have some sharp cheddar cheese here, and I'll just keep adding it until I get it the consistency that I'd like it. So this is about a cup of sharp cheddar cheese, grated. You can use any cheese you like with this recipe. And now I've poured the macaroni and cheese into a buttered casserole dish. Before I got to this point, I evaluated to see if I needed to add a little pasta water in case it was too thick. Now I'll sprinkle some cheese on top, and it'll be ready to bake in the oven. I'm going to roast some potatoes in the oven to go as a side dish with the meal that I'm making. I'm going to preheat the oven to 400 and be ready to roast the vegetables. I have some small gold potatoes that I've cut into portions so that they'll all be relatively the same size and roast evenly. I'm going to drizzle these potatoes with olive oil, and then I'm also going to put on some French fry seasoning, and I'm going to toss them with 2 large spoons so that they're evenly coated. Then I'll put them on a baking sheet and roast them in the oven. I'll roast these potatoes at 400 degrees for about 35 to 40 minutes until they're nice and soft. All of the local barbecue restaurants around where we live have large chunks of hot smoked sausage, so I'm going to cut this sausage in some big pieces, and I'll just grill it on the stovetop in a pan. When taking a meal to your friends, you'll want to get an attractive bag. I put some stickers on here to make it a little bit more special for friends. And then I have some containers. These are some foil containers, and they have a nice foil lid to keep everything hot. Happily, as we found that after we met our friends, they live in our neighborhood, so we don't have very far to go. And I also wrote them a nice card and told them we would miss them. I have some recipes here with the food that I'm fixing this evening. And don't forget to take your friends some napkins and some forks, spoons, and knives. And that way they'll be able to easily eat their dinner. And I'm going to also throw in some heavy-duty styrofoam plates. The roasted potatoes and macaroni and cheese are all ready to go. Alan is going to heat up the pulled pork that we already made on the smoker. And we have the sausage all done and ready to package. And here's what we have for the meal. The chocolate chip cookies are still baking in the oven. We have 2 toasted buttered buns. We have some barbecue sauce, the macaroni and cheese, some roasted potatoes, the sausage, and the pulled pork. And it's all steaming hot. We'll package this up, get the cookies out of the oven, and be on our way. And finally, some big chocolate chip homemade cookies. I'm so glad you joined me today. I hope this video has inspired you to make a special meal for somebody that you love and that you care about. If you did enjoy this video, I would love for you to like, share it, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the bell so that it'll remind you every time I have a new video coming out.